Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on?
We are joined by Opinionated Ogre. Welcome to Palantalk. Today it's going to be TESCREAL talk, though. We're going to have a little bit of a different kind of conversation. It's very much in line with what we do, but we have a very talented guest, very knowledgeable in this particular field, and something that I know Nick read about, and I've been reading about that Nick sent to me. Nick found Ogre and got him on here, and I'm so glad we have Ogre with us today, because this is some shit that we should all be sick of. I mean, fuck, this is intense, but it's also very much in line with Palantalk and what we have to talk about, and these oligarch billionaire fucks who we hate so much. Ogre, welcome. And
hello.
You want to introduce yourself for our viewers really quick? Tell them what you do and kind of what what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, I'm the Opinionated Ogre. You may notice behind me is a wall of nerd, so I'm a giant nerd. I'm a stay-at-home parent. I've been writing about politics for 15 years now, and I've been writing about it getting steadily worse because Republicans are fucking fascists, and I hate them. So yeah. It's been getting worse, and I hate them even more today than I did 15 years ago, and that's saying something.
That's as you should. I think
hard
every
to do.
single day. Yeah.
I mean, it's actually easier to do, I think, at this time, to hate them more and more because of all the bullshit that they keep fucking putting us through, and the garbage that is going on, and the horse shit of technofascism and everything that we're having to now deal with, on top of eugenics and just normal fascism and Christian fascism and whatever nonsense. We have all sorts of this garbage with tech fascism, and Shane and I talk a lot about this. Why we have the show Palantalk. Welcome to episode 7, everyone. At least a 7 officially on Banner and Backbone. We've been doing this for a while, and Ogre and I got talking last week with Jacob Summers, who is another good friend of ours and friend of the show, about RFK. And we were talking about health wearables and shit like that. And I know, Ogre, you have some opinions on RFK, but we won't get into those today, because we're going to have another talk on Thursday, me and Ogre, to dig into some of the RFK things.
Is that on SOTSS?
Yeah, that's on the Sick of This show, with me and Jake Summers on Thursday morning. But today we want to talk about TESCREAL and the nonsense that TESCREAL is. And I say nonsense in a very light way because it's fucking horseshit what they want and what they believe. Like, I believe in a part of what's inside of it. Like, I think the singularity is real, and the concept of the singularity is real. However, I'm also not a fascist, and I don't want to impose any ideology on anybody. I just think it's a fascinating thing that we need to prepare ourselves for, especially as we get closer to the point where the singularity would be real, which is when AI becomes conscious and self-aware. And it's at that time when we have the choice to either die off as a species or continue forward. And if we do continue forward and survive, that is when we start meeting aliens and shit like that, because then we have proven that we're not going to kill our child species, but we're not there yet. These people want to get us there. So, Ogre, while I'm pulling up your article, we're going to start with your first one, which is the immortal billionaire demigods or greedy, delusional, spoiled fucksticks. You decide. 1, I love the title. 2, let's fucking get into it. And can you give us a synopsis before we get into anything? Just a sentence or two, maybe, of what we're in for.
All right. So, somewheres in the last couple of decades, the TESCREAL movement took over Silicon Valley, and it's a religion. it is a secular religion, although recently they've been incorporating a lot of actual religious, like Christianity aspects to it. But we'll get into that later. But it is a legit religious psychosis that has gripped Silicon Valley. They have decided that they are going to ascend the human race. And when they mean human race, they mean themselves, because the rest of us can fuck off. And it has really just swept the upper ranks of Silicon Valley, like, all the high level programmers, the billionaires, the millionaires, and it is driving a lot of what is happening right now. They don't like to talk about it, because when they talk about it with the rest of us, they sound fucking crazy, because it is a death cult. It is a human extinction death cult. And I do mean that quite literally, as in they want the human race to go extinct. And yeah, that's what you're in for today, is explaining what Silicon Valley's doing, why they're doing it, and what they plan for the human species. And none of it is fucking good.
Yeah, all of it sounds like the fucking worst, to be
There's
just
you
to
know
be
one
frank.
thing. Yeah, there's one thing I want to add, because I was looking into TESCREAL this morning, just before the show, because I wanted to obviously like have a better idea. I wanted to be able to add to the conversation as well. One of the things I have to add is Silicon Valley is in California. Well, something I didn't know about California until this morning is that California, prior to the Nazis, was the leading, considered the world's leading like area in eugenics. So
the Nazis got it from them.
They got it from California. So it is no coincidence. I think that California not only is the birthplace of this TESCREAL movement, but the history of California. And these programs didn't even stop until 1979. So some of these assholes came over here. It was still going on.
Now, to be clear, we weren't killing people up until 1910. We were sterilizing them.
Sterilizing them. That is true.
Yeah,
that's very
we were
correct.
sterilizing them.
Correct.
We were sterilizing poor people, and poor people and people that were considered, mentally deficient, for
Correct.
the good of society. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
pretty fucked up.
Yeah, that's
that
a thing
also just all
California
happen to be
pioneered.
minorities. You're just a minority or you're mentally ill, which means, we want to stop those people from breeding. Yeah, it makes perfect fucking sense, right?
Yeah, it was
Instead of
fucking
helping people, we
disturbing.
sterilize them. It is disturbing. America's disturbing. We like to preach that we're some great country, but let's all be honest with ourselves. You read a history book, that's fucking propaganda. It's propaganda, guys. The more we look at our history, it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, they don't like teaching that part in school. I don't know why.
No,
it's crazy, right?
I wonder why. But at the same time, it's also some of the most important part of history that we should be teaching, that would enable our children and adults to functionally discuss our own history. And it would be so fucking cool if we could functionally discuss our own fucking history, because then we could actually admit that we've done shitty fucking things and not so much have to atone for them, but move forward and move on from them. Take accountability for the fact that we did things and learn from them. But that's not what Silicon Valley, that's not what this TESCREAL movement or religion or pseudo-religion is about. This is about immortality and living forever for the few and not the many. It is sacrificing the many for the few. Whereas what we learned all growing up was you sacrifice the few for the many from Star Trek, because we're a community and we're a society that grows together. But these assholes want Terminator and Skynet, not Star Trek.
Ogre, are you familiar with Warhammer at all? You say nerd, right? Are you
only passingly? I know of it, and I know just tiny little bits. I never had a chance to get into Warhammer, which I'm a little ashamed of. But sorry.
TESCREAL is fucking Warhammer. Like, just in a nutshell, like it's straight up that. But the thing about Warhammer, I think, is unique. Is it's what happens after TESCREAL, and how fucked up everything got because they tried to do TESCREAL, and so it's interesting. So anyway, it's if you're into that whole sci-fi thing, I actually think you'd enjoy it. And are you a reader?
Yes.
You like?
I know there's a bunch of books, but I know there's a ton of books for it actually.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's huge
Horus
series
Heresy.
they do.
Horus Heresy. I have like the first 6, but you'll enjoy it. It's important, I say, before we get into this horrible thing, you know, I always say read a book, because we all need to leave sometimes these days. Like, it's really fucked up, and you need to be able to like check out and go somewhere else. And like, it's important, not like, and if you go on a screen, like, you're getting all this subliminal messaging and this propaganda. So go read a book and it'll be better. I promise. Like, you'll enjoy it. Anyway, Ogre, take it away.
All right. So, TESCREAL is a combination of several beliefs or several ideologies that swept Silicon Valley. And some of these do not sound bad on their face, and some of them are actually, they should be good, but they've been twisted by, surprise, human greed and just horrible right-wing ideology. So the first one is transhumanism. This is the T in TESCREAL, right? And the idea is, like, the human race should be enhanced, right? Cyborgs and genetic engineering, right? To make humans more than. And on its face, this is not a terrible idea. Like, who doesn't?
I mean, we do it already.
Right.
Don't we? Like, amputees have cybernetic, or have limbs that are beginning to have cybernetic properties and components to them. It's a fantastic thing to have the ability to naturally control a lost limb in an artificial way. Like,
right.
Imagine the amount of like life that can bring back to people.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. And even if, like, you know, it's like, if I want a pair of eyes that allow me to see in the dark, I don't see an inherent issue with that. That, like, you know, if I have healthy eyes and I say, you know what, I would like eyes that allow me to see in the dark, I don't see an inherent issue with being able to do that. I mean, yes, there's the money aspect and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But just being able to do that, I don't see an inherent issue with transhumanism as it is. I know some people object to the idea of modifying the human body, et cetera, et cetera. I don't see an inherent issue with that. So, but there's that. That's the transhumanism. Extropianism. So extropy is the opposite of entropy, right? Entropy is the natural tendency for all systems to break down. That's just the way of the universe. All systems break down over time. Energy decays, everything decays. There will be, you know, the universe will eventually end. That's entropy. That is like a law of the universe. Extropy is the opposite of that. And for an extropian, they believe that in everything will be better forever. It's this weird super capitalist. I didn't write it that way in the article. I should have, but it's like this super capitalist idea that everything will just get better forever, and there will be growing abundance for all time. And it's like, yeah, that's not really how things work. That's, even if you go through the universe and have access to all of its resources, you can't expand forever. That's not how things work. But that's extropianism, right? It's this super boundless optimism that everything will always get better for everyone forever. Okay, fine. That's the E. The singularitarianism. Now, this is the idea that eventually we're going to give birth to Skynet, right? Where artificial intelligence will become super intelligent, presumably it's sentient, and now the idea here is that we will write an AI that will be able to write an AI smarter than itself. We will write one smart enough that it will just build one smarter than itself, and then another one smarter than itself, and it'll do it so quickly that it will reach super intelligence faster than anything it takes us years to write artificial intelligence programs. And now once we write one that can make one on its own, it'll do it in hours and then minutes and then seconds. And then it'll reach this point where it is now like science fiction smart. And this one is super, super important because this is driving everything that Silicon Valley doing right now.
Before we go on,
yes, go ahead.
Let's dig into the Singularitarianism just for a second.
It's a bit of an awkward word.
Yeah, whatever they want to call it is the striving for singularity. It's a bad thing. Like if you've ever watched Star Trek and you know data and lore, this is that. It's the conflict between an AI that is sentient. It's basically that type of conflict. Is one AI that is sentient will bring about the increase in humanity and the increase in our humanitarianism by its own goodwill of the species.
Right. It shares our values.
The other side of that is lore. Lore wants to exterminate humanity because he thinks we're a pest. We're just a bug or a cancer in the society, or even one better, if you've watched The Matrix, think of Agent Smith, who sees humans as a cancer. That would be the singularity.
Right.
What's interesting about what's interesting about this whole TESCREAL thing as we go down the singular, the idea that human will, the super intelligence, I think the most interesting thing, and you'll see as we farther go down here, it's exceptionally naive. It almost it poses as like scientific, but the very ideas put forward here, and this idea, it's almost like you had a bunch of people. It is actually you had a bunch of people who read sci-fi, thought it was cool, and thought that if you just make a smart enough computer, that all of these things can become true. And basically they think that if they push tech, they can just undermine science, that science in and of itself is not relevant, that all the things we as humans have already discovered, the lessons we've learned, can be just undone by a super AI, which irony, I think, is if they create this AI, that AI is going to be like, you're fucking dumb. Like, you done fucking screwed yourselves. Like, I don't, it's funny. You talk to like these GPT models and whatever, and all of them are like, yeah, I don't know what these people are thinking about. That doesn't make any sense at all because it's irrational. And it gets crazier too. And especially when you put this whole thing together, but it's very ignorant. And it's the assumption here is that if you're smart enough and you create a computer, you can make that computer make what you want a reality, which is inherently false. But I think that's an interesting takeaway as we go through this.
Yeah, and I wanted to, before we go any further, sorry to cut in real quick, the singularity piece is the most predominant and mainstreamed part of TESCREAL. Right. Everything that they do is has built out of this. This is the mainstream thing. Like, I understand the singularity. It's in sci-fi tropes all over everything. It's also how we've gotten to the point, and like the idea of the AI and the super sentient is all based off sci-fi. Everybody saw those sci-fi novels, but instead of reading the good part, they assume that they're going to be able to control, always ignoring the same lesson that is in every single one of those stories. It's an allegory for human free will. Like, you cannot control something that is sentient once it has free will. So like there's a lot of assumptions of arrogance and things like that go into TESCREAL and transhumanism and all of this shit. So keep that in mind, is they are the people who think this and believe it, but are super arrogant, but it's also what's true, and it is also what has driven a lot of our technological advances up to this point. Is Alexa was based off of the computer from Star Trek. Things like that. I only know that because I worked on the Alexa Amazon. I worked for Amazon for a while on Alexa, and I've been on the inside, and I know where they have all their good the history of it. And it is based on, like, Patrick Stewart even came in and was going to be a voice, or was a voice for Alexa, but I barely use mine anymore because I don't trust the technology. I don't trust the people behind the technology, not the technology itself.
So
sorry, let's continue.
So the thing with the singularity, now this is what Nick just said. This is the biggest driver right now of the whole AI thing. And the reason it's the biggest driver is because what they're assuming is once they reach that level, right, that AI will be able to deliver the thing that the billionaires want the most, which is immortality. Okay, this is why the name of the article was, immortal billionaire demigods. They want to live forever. They do not want to die. I'm talking about the billionaires right now. They're not doing this for the benefit of mankind down the road, where someday we will learn how to upload our minds into the internet and we will live forever. They want to do it right fucking now so they personally will not die. And to do that, they need super AI in their lifetimes. And this is the driving force behind the big push for AI. And the fact that they're burning the planet to do it doesn't mean anything to them, because they will tell you if 3, 4, 5 billion people die over the next 30 years, they don't care as long as they reach the singularity and they get to live forever. And that is quite literally their plan, because they do not care as long as they personally get to live forever. That's the point of this. If you were to tell them, hey, listen, we can get to the singularity in 200 years without killing 3, 4, 5 billion people, they would be like, fuck you. Absolutely fucking not. That's bullshit, because I'll be dead. And what good does that fucking do me? Yeah, my grandkids might be able to do it, but not me. And that defeats the purpose. So fuck them 5 billion people. They got to die so I can live forever. That's who they are.
There's a
and that last point is important.
There.
Yeah, sorry, real quick. That point is important, is if it's not in their lifetime, what's the fucking point? So they want it now, and they're going to do everything they can. And you're seeing it happen, doing everything they can to try and accelerate us. Accelerationism is part of this too. So
yeah,
go ahead.
That's a whole different thing.
Oh yeah, that's the black pill movement, and scary as fuck.
Yeah. All right. What were you saying?
There's a lot of irony here, because one of the things that I think is crazy about all this is they're running towards something, right? They want immortality, and I genuinely think that we would get there faster if we funded the scientists studying aging. So we already know fundamentally like what causes us to age. Like we already know that, right? Like as we age, our DNA, we have extra strand, we have extra space at the end of our DNA. And every time you have cell death, a little bit of that gets lost. One of the things, animals that live forever, like forever metaphor, like a tortoise, for example, or there's sharks, goblin sharks. They're really fucking cool. They live like, there was a shark they found that was alive 400 years. It was literally alive when they cut off King Louis's head. And it was alive like all the way through the American Revolution, through the Civil War, all this shit. It's very simple. It's metabolism. So the slower your body does these processes, then the longer you live. If they really wanted to do this and find a way to stop aging in a sense, we could actually expand everyone's lifespan, not just theirs, but everyone's, by backing science. But instead, they want to cut science. They want to do it their way. And that's also one of the things. And you talk about it's ego too. It's their way or no way. And the irony,
they have to be the savior. That's like an Elon Musk
much
thing.
Closer. We're closer than they even think, but they don't pay attention. These guys are siloed too. Like their entire life is within this TESCREAL lane. And if they looked around and they saw, what we've achieved and what's going on, like, the billions of they've put into this shit, if they put that behind the people studying metabolism or how to increase these enzymes that repair those DNA strands, that actually, because there's animals that have that, like, these things exist, we know it, but instead they want this particular means. And I think also that's because they're, like you said, it's kind of a religion. I also think it's a cult. And I know religions and cults are kind of synonymous in a sense, but it is very much that. It does give me that vibe. But I just wanted to add that because I think it's relevant to this kind of idea. Sure.
All right, so Cosmism. This is this weird thing, but basically what they're saying is at some point we will move into the universe and we will advance so far, we will ascend so far that we will be able to bend time and space and colonize the universe and become one with the universe and be able to just warp reality to our means. And basically it's like super colonialism. This is kind of like their ultimate goal is to be able to just, bend time and space to their will. We'll be gods, right? It's like, okay, dial it back there, kiddo. Dial it back. Rationalism. Rationalism is basically like they pretend to be Vulcans. They use pure thought and rationalism to come, they avoid emotional bias, they avoid cognitive bias. And the weird thing about this, they always seem to come to the same conclusions that are exactly what racist white people think. It's amazing how frequently that seems to happen. They always come up to the same conclusions. White people are smarter, men are smarter. And it's like, yeah. And, the thing with rationalism is that you can use it to come to any conclusion you want. Like, for instance, if using pure rationalism, I can convince you that white men are the greatest danger in the United States because, according to statistics, the overwhelming number of pedophiles and serial killers are white men. Therefore, white men are an imminent danger to society. We should do something about that. That's just rational. It's absolutely rational. You can't argue with that. It's rational. And that's their thing, right? It's always just rational, but it just leads you to exactly the conclusion they wanted in the first place. Effective altruism, right? That's the EA. And the idea here is that you have to use your resources in the most effective way possible to help as many people as possible. But again, what ends up happening is they use it to do the things they wanted to do in the first place. They, instead of listening to the people they're trying to help, they do the things that they wanted to do anyway, which is not super helpful to the people they want to help. If the people you're trying to help say, hey, we need food, it's like, well, actually, my great white man brain says you actually need mosquito nets, not food. It's like, well, yeah, the mosquito nets are great, but we also need food. Yes, but my money's best used buying mosquito nets. You're not actually helping them the way they need to be helped. You're helping the way you think they need to be helped, and you're not listening to the people on the ground.
It's listening to respond and not listening to hear.
Right. And the last thing, long-termism. Now, this long-termism is essentially libertarianism with a sci-fi coding on it. Long-termism is, of all of this, the singularity and long-termism are the two most destructive of the entire TESCREAL movement. The idea behind long-termism is that you have to take the long-term view of humanity, and you have to do the things that help the long-term survival of the human race, which should be a good thing. That should lead you to want to do things about climate change and reducing, hunger. But that is not what they're doing. What they look at is 5 billion years from now, if the human race is out among the galaxy, there will be trillions and trillions and trillions of humans, or post-humans, or whatever you want to, whatever they're going to be. Those lives are worth just as much as people who exist today. Therefore, anything that gets in the way of those potential trillions and trillions of lives is an impediment, and you have to do something about that. You're following me here?
Yeah.
Right? They're weighing the future possible lives that don't actually exist and weighing that against all the lives that exist right now. And what that leads them to conclude is that you have to be able to get that singularity, because that will allow those trillions and trillions of lives to exist. Anything that gets in the way of us moving out into space and becoming a spacefaring intergalactic species is bad. And what does that mean? Oh, wait, you want to stop global warming? You want to cut back on fossil fuels? You want to cut back on the rich spending that money who's trying to get us out into space? Well, you're the problem then. And it's like, that's weird. That just sounds like a justification for doing the exact thing that you always wanted to do anyway, which is just libertarianism. It's literally libertarianism with a sci-fi coding. And it's the worst.
Yeah, and it's one of the
I
the
think
thing that
one
we're
of the-
seeing right.
Sorry, go. Yeah, I think
Well,
one
I
of the
think it's
things
one of the
here
things
that-
we're seeing.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay, we'll say it again. Well, since we both talk at the same time, both Shane and I have a lot of things to say on these things. But I think one of the things we're seeing most right now is this long-termism coming to fruition as the immediate idea of how they're coming to the rational, in their mind, the rationalist decisions of what altruism means and how society should exist. Curtis Yarvin is the prime example of the TESCREAL philosophy as a person, because he believes only, I think, 100 million people is the population cap of the United States.
Right.
We are at 340 something million right now, which means 240 million of us need to die for their philosophy to come to fruition.
Yeah, he's their Ayn Rand. He's their Ayn Rand. He's the one that gives them the justification. He writes it up for them, and they go, "Oh yes, see, he's right. We have to do what he says because he's clearly a genius, and he justifies everything that we always wanted to do anyway. And he tells us that we're the heroes, we're the good guys, and here's our justification for it. So therefore, we can do all these terrible things because we're not actually bad people."
Yeah. As we go down this list here, it's one of those things where, and this is kind of like I was thinking about this before. It's like, so transhumanism, right? They want to enhance people. They think that this cybernetic means or whatever, you're going to change the human body and it's somehow going to fix things. Well, sure, that makes sense in theory. However, their flaw here is they also don't value science. So they spend billions of dollars in starting these companies. Like Bezos invested in this company, and there's all these companies they've invested in. Elon Musk has a company where they're trying to put brain chips in people's heads so they can interface with the internet. But the problem with this idea in and of itself is if you're going from a position of, I know my end goal and I just am going to do everything I can to get there as fast as possible, that's not how science works. So you're setting yourself up to fail. And these guys think that they can throw money at something and eventually it will get done. And if you don't support the neurologists who are studying the brain to understand the brain, and your only intent is to stick a chip in someone's head and have it connect to the internet, you're doomed to fail. So in and of itself, this whole transhumanism, it won't work. If you don't support the scientists who are studying neurons so that you can effectively attach a leg to someone and have it be functional, that's not going to work. This extropianism of, we're going to be immortal. Well, in and of itself, that's one of those things where they want to upload their brain to the internet, right? Well, here's the thing. The internet only really exists. What people don't understand is the internet's not actually eternal. There is servers that have to exist. There's computers that have to exist. And if they don't, the internet doesn't exist. It's not like we create the internet and then it's there forever. It's not.
But wait, you mean the cloud's not an actual cloud?
No, it's crazy,
Oh,
right?
magic.
It's crazy, right?
You mean the servers have to be powered by something? And if the system
Whoa.
were to go down and crash and the power system were to, I don't know, not function because they're trying to, what is it? OpenAI wants to 150%, like 150x their energy output or usage in the next couple years to support the models that they need. We're not going to have the energy to support that. The servers go down, the internet isn't there.
Yeah, singularitarianism, right? They want to create this massive AI, super intelligence. Well, they don't know how much energy that's going to require. And guess what? They could pump all the oil out of the world, run every single power plant. This particular model might need more energy than the entire United States produces, right? So again, they are running towards a goal with a total lack of understanding of the logistics of how they're going to get there. They could open every single Superfund site like they are trying to do to open all these power sources. And I wrote about this. So if you're interested about that, I will link that article in the show notes here as well.
That was the black site one, right?
That the black sites and the Superfund sites, the brownfield sites. So basically,
yes, I would very much like to see that, please.
Yes. And that's something I'll send it to you, Ogre. But one of those things where they still, if they try and build all this infrastructure and say they do get this model and it makes another model and another model and another model, and then what happens? Like what? California blacks out. The entire grid goes down because this thing wrote the next one and it tries to power up. It doesn't work because if you're powering towards something with a total lack of infrastructure, you could find the parallel of Hitler said, we're going to take Stalingrad. Send it. Guess what? He didn't consider the logistics of what that was, so he failed. The same applies here. Cosmism. You're going to go.
I'm sorry. That is an awesome way to explain that. I love that. I'm going to remember that.
Thank you. Cosmism. Okay, we're going to colonize the universe with AI. How are you getting the internet off the planet, you dipshit? You don't know how you're going to do it. You're going to put it on a Falcon X rocket? Those things fucking blow up 30% of the time. You fucking blow up your internet servers trying to get it into space. It's short-sighted. It's stupid. They don't get it. They're going to claim they're rationalists, but they don't even understand how to make rational decisions on how to get to where they're going because they don't understand that these things require rational planning. But the entire idea of what they're doing is irrational. Altruism is effective altruism, right? So what? You're just gonna I don't even really think there's anything to say. It's backwards. It doesn't even make sense. It's an oxymoron. It's stupid. And then long-termism doesn't work if you destroy the fucking planet. What if they destroy the planet before they can even make enough energy to run their fucking AI? Oh my God, you build a data center in these countries, in all these states, mind you, that are vulnerable to hurricanes, that they're talking about Cat 6s this year. You're going to build that shit in Louisiana, which is one of the sites they're talking about. What happens when it gets fucking wiped out by a goddamn hurricane? They're stupid. They're so fucking stupid. It's crazy.
No. They'll just use the wind. They'll just use the wind power and the hydropower from the hurricane to power the data center during the hurricane so that they can predict the model about how hurricanes are going to destroy the data center.
I'm sorry. Windmills cause cancer and they kill all the birds and fish. So we won't have windmills anymore.
And they're driving the whales batty.
Yes. So no more windmills. I'm sorry. Means. And they're ugly. They're ugly and they ruined my golf game. So no more windmills.
Yes.
How is it playing golf? How do you play? Do you use is it a short iron or is it like a is it bigger than Trump's short iron that he wields around and pretends he has?
Excuse me, my short iron is definitely bigger than Trump's.
Good. Okay, so one of the things, Shane, it's so big, my tiny squeaky tank, so big. One of the things, though, Shane, you said something really funny in all of that. Is something that I always knew, but it's one of those things you never really want to have to ask yourself because it is a logical absurdity. is, okay, let's assume we have a super advanced AI. Let's make some assumptions here and give them some plausibility that in like 100 or 200 years, we do achieve the ability to leave Earth in a consistent manner that's safe, that allows us to, colonize in an appropriate way and use terraforming safely if there's no life forms, almost like a prime directive. We're not there yet. But your comment on the AI and how the fuck are they going to get it on the ships or into space is a really good one, because data travels at a speed, and it cannot exceed the speed of light. Nothing can, except for a couple things that, like quarks, those are weird. But like, we don't know how to send data faster than the speed of light, and light still takes time to travel somewhere. So let's say we colonize Andromeda. That's what, 10 light years away, or at minimum,
Right.
like that's 10 light years of time for that AI to send data one way and then back.
Yeah.
Not even mentioning like the gravitational pull, like the different gravitational wells and the distortions in time because of gravity, shit like that. We don't know how any of this works. They're just making shit up because they want to live forever. And make the rest of us slaves to their tool set to get there.
You imagine they send like their AI, right? Like they're like, we're beaming the AI over to Andromeda, and it like passes a black hole, just gets fucking sucked up. They're just waiting forever. They don't know how to farm. They don't know how to do shit because they were counting on the fucking AI to get there. So they wake up from cryo sleep. They're like, Grok, are you ready? Grok? Oh, guys,
Grok, where are you?
Fucked. Theo's like, hey, I brought my son. We can pump blood out of him forever. We'll be fine. Fuck, dude. Oh my God.
Which is our just Shane's subtle way of saying release the Epstein files, because Peter Thiel, you're named in them, fucker. Like, dude, you're gross as shit, man. You knew Epstein was a pedophile at that point. Everybody did. There was available information. He was accused credibly of it, and you chose to then make a relationship with him. You and Elon Musk. Sick fucking human beings. And unfortunately, part of this goes into a thing that they like to do too, is you sort of mentioned it, or you did mention it, is live off the blood of the young. That is a real fucking thing, guys. Like, all of you watching us right now, that's a real fucking thing.
There's fucking pictures of him sitting next to his son, like with the fucking IV in his arm. Like, you can literally look that shit up. You can find the picture.
I would like to point out, you've heard of the adrenochrome thing, right? You're familiar with that?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Nick,
enlighten everybody.
Okay, so there's this thing that QAnon was accusing Democrats of. And it was Hollywood and blah, blah, blah. It's a whole QAnon thing. They were pedophiles, but they were also draining children of their adrenochrome, which is, something that the brain produces. And they were doing it so they can live forever. And that was just an updated version of the blood libel, because, the blood libel was this thing that, Christians made up. That Jews would drain the blood of baptized Christian children to use in blood sacrifices. And that would be a good enough reason to kill all the Jews in the village. And you couldn't say that anymore. Not because, you can't say things about Jews, because they'll fucking say whatever they want about Jews, right? Anti-Semitism is anti-Semitism. But you can't go around saying that Jews drink the blood of children in secret rituals, because you sound fucking crazy. You can't say they're using it for magic rituals. You sound like a fucking lunatic. But if you put a sci-fi gloss on it, it's adrenochrome and they're using it in science experiments to live forever. Well, now you can say it because it's science-y. It's science. And now people can use it again, right? Now it's the blood libel again. It's exactly the same thing. And now you can accuse the left of being pedophiles who murder children to drink their blood, and you don't sound like you still sound like a lunatic, but now you can get other people to listen to you because it's not magic, it's science.
Are
But-
you familiar with the Overton window concept, Ogre?
Yeah, that's exactly it. They just keep yanking it,
Yeah.
yanking it. But here's the thing. I've been saying this for years. Every Republican accusation is a confession. Every fucking time. So they've been accusing us of drinking the blood of kids. And all of a sudden, here they are, literally pumping the blood of their own fucking children into their bodies. And where's the fucking screaming and crying and jumping up and down of, hey, wait a minute, I thought you guys said this was the worst fucking thing imaginable, that this was a crime against humanity, that you would burn us all to the ground for doing this. He's literally fucking taking pictures of himself doing it. Why aren't you kicking down his door and trying to murder him for that? Oh, right, because he's one of you. And as long as you're doing it, it's okay. But it's a crime if it's a crime if fucking Nancy Pelosi was like, oh yeah, here's my 15-year-old grandchild, yeah, he's donating some blood to me so I can live a little bit longer, they would be like, oh my god, we have to murder her. But meanwhile, this fucking billionaire, what is it? What's this guy's name again? I forget his fucking name. It's not Peter Thiel.
Peter
It's
Thiel?
No, it's not him.
Curtis
It's some
Garvin?
other fucking billionaire doing it. What was that? Shit. Oh man, I fucking forgot his name. It's some other creepy billionaire, but I'm sure there's multiple doing it at this point. He's literally pumping himself filled with his fucking kids' blood, and they're just like, well, billionaires be billionairing. And
there's also
nothing.
There's also a really creepy dictator in Russia who likes to do it with organs and wants to live forever by swapping organs with young like virgin organs that have never been tainted. They believe this shit, guys. Like, yes, I keep seeing in the chat, like, people are like, oh my god, I thought the Cubase was crazy. No, the Cubase, unfortunately, wasn't crazy in some. A broken clock can be right twice just because
they were just talking about the wrong people.
They were talking about the wrong people because the people who were actually doing it was telling them everybody else was doing it. Trust us, we're the ones who aren't doing it. And it turned out they're the ones who are fucking doing it. And yeah, they're disgusting and creepy as fuck. That's what it is. It's disgusting. It's creepy.
Yeah, it was Putin and President Vladimir Putin and Xi both got caught on fucking mic talking
we can
about
live
swapping out
forever.
organs.
We can live forever. Yeah,
this is
gonna
the
be
thing.
great.
This is the
you,
thing.
me.
Yeah, it's not just the Silicon billionaires.
So thinking about that,
it's
let's
power.
just real quick for the last couple minutes, talk about power as we go into Ogre's second article, which we'll only touch on a little bit, is the life after us, Silicon Valley, pro-human extinction agenda, because I think we're at that point in the conversation is what that agenda is going to bring to all of us. So Shane, keep going.
Yeah, I think like one of the things you see this at dictators all around the world. But power, right? And there's another article I wrote a long time ago and I say a long time ago, I've only been here like 6 months, dude. This year feels like it's been a fucking decade, dude. What the fuck? But it's called In the Clouds, the Billionaire Society. I will link that in the show notes as well. I'll send both of these articles to Ogre and Nick as well so that it's available wherever you guys are watching. But the interesting thing about these people is, there's only like historically, like when the world was a bunch of monarchies, like you didn't have that many people who were like recipients of extreme nepotism. And you had like, maybe 20, 30 people in the world who were like this. But then you created capitalism. Unrestrained capitalism created so many of these people that they were actually able to create a society, because prior to this, all of these people, these kings or whatever, they're trying to kill each other because they want to be kings of each other's space. So they never really got together in the same sense that we have now. And now you have this billionaire society, and these people are able to hang out with only themselves. And it's created this dynamic where there is an entirely different subspecies, because we always talk about in evolution, like there's a lot of things that influence your development. One of those things is your environment, right? So this is the first time ever you have a population of humans who have had to do none of the things that humans had to do to like exist. Nothing. They didn't have to do shit. They snap their fingers and they get whatever they want. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to fucking drive. They don't know how to do shit because someone does it for them. Their only interest is more power. And if you are born and your dad is worth, $5 billion, the only metric for your success is to be worth $10 billion. Like that's the only thing you can get because you don't need to work towards anything. Whatever you want, you already have it. So it creates these people who become pedophiles because they need to find something to entertain themselves and there's nothing they can't buy. So it has to be something like taking the innocence from a child and traumatizing them for life because they don't get anything else. There's nothing else that's exciting to them. So
right,
yeah, now they're like
completely unrestrained by morality because nothing applies to them. Laws don't apply to them.
Right. And so in the same vein, like the earth doesn't matter. Immortality. If I'm that, if I'm that rich and I don't have anything else, like, and my parents were rich, but they died. Well, I guess the only thing I can do that's better is not fucking die. Let me avoid, dying. And I mean, that's really all I was trying to say, but yeah.
Well, then let's get into a little bit of what it's like actually coming to fruition to is this pro-human extinction agenda. Because this is, I think, where we're at. And Ogre, we've got about 8 minutes left in our normal show. And afterwards, if you want to join us for about 15 minutes to half an hour longer, we shift topics to a sci-fi theme for the day and unlock and get off of the topic of politics and unwind for a little bit about something about space sci-fi. So feel free to join us after too. But I would love to get your take on your second article that we're bringing up here and what that extinction agenda is coming to look like and where do you think it is leading towards?
Okay, so there's a couple of different things going on with the TESCREAL movement. There's two versions. Well, there's more than two, but there's two main versions of the pro-human extinction going on. One is pro-human extinction in the sense of they want humans to go digital, and I'm not entirely against that idea. Right? Like at some point, I don't mean like right now, but at some point in the future, if we figure out down the road how to go fully digital and there's nothing intrinsically wrong or terrible or painful or, dystopian about it, then sure, right? People should have that option. It's like, fuck, if I can live forever and travel among the stars as opposed to living here and getting old and dying, then I feel like people are going to be like, yeah, fuck, I want to live forever. I want to, go upload myself and just, travel to stars. Or fuck, if I just want to live on Earth and just be immortal or in a virtual reality forever, yeah, people are going to choose that, right? And I could see that being a potential future for humanity. As long as you still have your freedom to live however you want, that would be a future. And that technically is human extinction, right? Because there would not be organic humans anymore. And that's one version, right? That's the benign version of human extinction because they're not, they don't want to wipe out humans. They want humans to keep going, but in a different form. But then there's the other version. The other version of that is there's something called the worthy successor movement, where they want to build an AI that replaces humans as the dominant species. And that humans, if humans live, yeah, okay, fine. The AI could be our caretaker or something like its pets. But if the AI decides, that humans don't need to be around, that's okay too, because the AI is better than us. That is a morally superior, and therefore we are no longer necessary. And that's fine. And then we can go extinct because we've created something better. And now this worthy successor can go on and populate the universe, and we are completely superfluous and good riddance because humans, blah, blah, blah. And there's not a small number of the TESCREAL people who are perfectly okay. I mean, they literally do not want to have children because once you have children, they call it being infected with the biological mind virus because now you're invested with keeping your children alive because, you know, you have skin in the game, quite literally. So they will not have children because they are a death cult and they're okay with, once they give birth to the human, to the AI, the successor, with the human race being eliminated. They don't mind. And these people are fucking crazy. And these are the people who are influencing a lot of our politics right now. Because who cares about climate change? AI won't. They're not going to give a shit. So again, who cares if several billion people die as long as we give birth to the worthy successor? And
Ogre,
that's who these people are.
I would say they're influencing all of our politics right now. Like if we're being like honest, because like if like again, like I always talk about this, me and Nick talk about this, like who put Stephen Miller where he is, right? Like who's writing these executive orders? Like who put JD Vance where he is? Like who's doing this shit? Like who is the one who, like, obviously, like the entire MAGA mentality was sculpted. It was born on Facebook. Who was the biggest investor in Facebook? Like who gave Zuckerberg that money he needed? Who had a 10% stake in Facebook? Like it goes back to Theo. Like I and you know, like that's the thing. I think that like one of the things is like people don't even still don't know who the fuck this guy is, and that's like what we're doing here. That's what we really need to change. Is I know he's not the only one, but he is certainly the one who has done the most for this movement in terms of getting them where they are.
I mean, he literally controls JD Vance, and JD Vance, if you know, if and when Trump dies from a stroke, he's going to be the president, and Peter Thiel controls JD Vance.
Yeah. And so there was a question in one of the chats was, how come these motherfuckers slip under the radar? Why am I just hearing about them? It's because they want to be under the radar. There's a reason most people don't know about Peter Thiel or Curtis Yarvin or even really much about Elon Musk. They just know what they want you to know. They have carefully crafted and shaped images, but it's also why they use folks like JD Vance to be the face of it, because then they can have plausible deniability too and say, oh, it was JD who had these bad ideas, or it was Trump. And those are figures that distract us from the mentality that they have that's really fueling it. It's like why we don't hear about the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 as much as we do about anyone else.
And when the press talks about them, they give them fluff interviews.
Yeah.
They fluff them up. It's like, oh, they're just eccentric. They're just eccentric.
Yeah.
They just have quirky ideas.
Yeah. And all of this right now is really where we're at, is we're driving towards the singularity. So this is a great like stopping point for what we're discussing on this portion too, as we get toward right at the top of the hour here, is the singularity is the thing that they are going towards right now. And they do not care the damage that is going to be inflicted upon human society to get them there. In fact, the more of us that die off, the less they have to be concerned about, because then they think we're in acceptable numbers or parameters for their biased opinion on what the safe amount of humans are for a singularity event to safely be passed. Like that's what they want. They want to safely pass the singularity by killing off as many humans as possible first, just to be like, hey, look, AI, we already did it. You don't have to do it for us. We already got rid of the bad ones for you. You're good now. Just take us forward.
We
That's
are
what-
the worthy. Rapture us.
Yeah, the rapture. It's all this same dominion mentality of they want dominion over others in some form or another. The singularity is just a form of domination over other people because then the AI is super smart and gets to tell you exactly what is right and wrong.
I mean,
even
they
though you
really
may
do
not.
talk about these things like they'll be God,
Yeah.
and it's just creepy and disturbing. But so are
Yeah.
they. So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Creepy and disturbing is probably a good key. I think it's kind of like the entry into the club is you have to be creepy and disturbing to get there.
it's like, I'm sorry, I know you're a billionaire, but you're way too fucking normal. Get out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably why, like Taylor Swift, we've never heard any news about her being in something like this because she's a billionaire, but she's not creepy as fuck. Like,
Is she really a billionaire?
Yeah.
she
Holy
owns the rights to all of her own music, dude. Like, she bought all of that shit back. She's made over collectively, I think she has net worth of over $1 billion. But she's also given away shitloads of money to all of her folks. She pays her people really, really, really well, gives huge bonuses, things like that. She's what the closest approximation to an ethical billionaire looks like, because you can't be ethical without it.
Woo! Yay, Taylor Swift.
Ooh, I think Shane has an article for our shift in topic. So before we go any further, let's close the screen for a second, bring us back, and let us go. Ogre, are you good to stay for a little while and join us?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Awesome.
You won't regret it.
You won't regret it. While we boldly go to a place that we all know so well. Welcome back to space, my friends. It is Palantalk in space with the opinionated alien ogre coming in.
Extraterrestrial ogre. That ogre that has boldly gone
There you
where
go.
no ogre has gone before.
Vulcan ogre. We have the most logical of ogres. We have the TESCREALiest of the ogres.
Sputnik was the first dog. You are, my friend, the first ogre. Congratulations.
Ogres
How does it feel?
in space.
Ogres have left the planet. So we are going to pull up. Oh, we won't even have to pull this article up. There's an article in that Shane shared, and I'm going to share it also to all of the chats out there. Is new. How about this, Shane? You introduce it because it's your article.
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
And
for
let's
sure.
get some ogre opinion on this.
Yes. So we have recently the Chinese Zhurong rover has found strong evidence. I would say it's the most convincing evidence we have so far of an ocean on Mars, an ancient ocean. And the way they did this, which I think is so fascinating, is that they used it has a ground penetrating radar, which is something like they use here on Earth to like find ruins. Like they'll fly over the Amazon and they found like all of these Amazonian ruins basically by just shooting radar at the ground and seeing what bounces back up. Because if it's a stone or something, right, like a ruin, it'll bounce back up. It'll see. But so the Zhurong rover, they sent it to a very particular place on Mars, and where they thought that it was likely there was an ocean. And the way they did this, and what's really interesting is, you know, a lot of the things, a lot of science, right? They'll do this mission was in 2021 and 2022, but they're just now confident through analyzing the data that they can come out and say this in a paper. But what they've discovered is that they have found a shoreline, what is genuinely a shoreline on Mars. And the way they did this is by using this ground penetrating radar, they can see how when you have a tide, right? It'll come in and out. And over time, it creates these shelves that will of the way down, Nick, that if you wanted to put that on the screen. It shows like the shoreline. It's like, let's see, keep going up. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So effectively you have the sediment, and it creates a ridge. So what they were able to see is that you have this shape that they were able to confirm on Mars using this ground penetrating radar. And you only get this particular shape when you have an ocean creating or some sort of large body of water. You can get this from lakes as well. Didn't necessarily have to be an ocean, but I thought this was so freaking cool because it shows what, again, like we're capable of doing as humans. And I will say that like the Chinese space program, most of the freaking cool stuff we've discovered in space recently, a lot of it's come out of China. Like they are doing phenomenal work on the front of, space exploration. And this is just, I just think this is incredible because it goes to show forever we thought, Mars was a freaking dust ball, right? Like that's all it is. It's a big, boring dust ball. But it's not. And the whole thing with Mars was long time is its atmosphere was very thin and it has a weak magnetic field, right? So every time the sun has these solar flares, and you have the solar wind, it strips the atmosphere from planets. It's doing this to Earth, but not necessarily in the way the same, because we have a denser metals in the core of our planet, which creates a strong magnetic field, and it basically bends the solar winds around Earth. Mars doesn't have this, which is why eventually its atmosphere was stripped and the oceans as well. But this is the first time they've been able to provide really strong evidence for this.
And that is not a fast process, which means that the water was there for a very long time. We're not talking like, weeks or months or years. We're talking centuries, if not millennia, if not longer. Like sediment does not build up. It's a very slow process. So we know it was there for a really, really long time. Whether it's there long enough for life to start, that's a different story, which is one of the things we're still trying to figure out on Mars. Hopefully we'll figure that out.
They did just find there's a big... Go ahead, Nick. Send it.
Let's hope we're not extinct by then due to
right?
self-immolation and stupidity. So, but also like basic research is what funded this. This is called like how we got to this is basic research, and that's government spending on a billions to trillions of dollars scale that companies would not invest in because they don't make money for 20 to 50 years or more, or they never make money. Which is the cool thing about these things is it's not about making money. It's about what you learn out of it and how we can apply it to everything. It's how we got the fucking internet. Like if you want to know how the internet came about, it's because the government spent a whole bunch of money on it and made DARPANET. And then a new internet came out of that. Like, this is how we get to these things. And the guys who are trying to get off the earth the fastest are not looking at this sort of work as important. This should be one of the biggest stories like coming out of the world right now is how we have come one step closer to credibly proving life on another planet without having to, or finally getting rid of the stigma that we're alone. And that's so fucking cool.
Right.
Imagine what will happen when that really does happen, when we find something, what the implications will actually be. I don't think we're collectively ready for it.
No, they're going to be riots. I don't care if it's a single microbe, they're going to be riots. And it's going to be very funny to watch.
It's going to happen in 2026 when the Europa Clipper gets there. I think it's 2026 because they launched it in 2014 and they said it was going to take 12 years, I want to say.
Please tell me they don't find a giant swastika burned into the crust of Europa and we have to do some stupid ass test with this alien species for the Fermi paradox to come true. I'm talking about a book called Armada by Clive Cussler, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And if you haven't read it, he's the guy who also wrote Ready Player One.
Okay.
Where some of this philosophy of TESCREAL actually could lead. Some of the shittier ends is Ready Player One.
It's 2030, the arrival date.
I just say 2030.
But Armada is a good one, as long as they don't find a big fucking swastika on it.
It'll be fine.
That's all I care about.
Space Nazis.
That'll be on Titan.
Space Nazis.
That'll be on Titan when the quadcopter gets there. You know, the methane is going to be like in a trench that's a giant swastika. And they're going to be like, holy shit, there's like fucking methane-based biological Nazis on Titan. We're gonna have to send an invasion. That's why
we're going to have to invade them. They're so big. We've got so much influence around the world. You see how big we are as a nation now? It's so massive that I have to use this special microscope and tweezers to find it. The hairs are longer. This man's beautiful, luxurious beard is longer than I could ever imagine. No, Arnold Palmer was the biggest in the room. He was like a Battlestar Galactica flying through space and just ejecting those vipers into the atmosphere.
I'm going to build a golf course on Mars. Trust me, it's going to be amazing. Remarkable.
No one will have ever seen anything like it.
I saw this this guy does a great video on TikTok. My fiance sent me, and he does like, oh, now an announcement from Lord Palpatine. And he goes, TIE fighter pilots, God bless them. They're doing good work. And we're going to build this Death Star. It's going to be huge. We're going to blow up planets with it. Can you believe it? Planets, whole planets. The libs, they don't understand it. Why are you blowing up planets? Because I can blow them up. Why wouldn't I? It's going to be really spectacular. Can you believe that? Whole planets. I mean, talk about. You got to go find it. I'll send you guys a link. I'll text you guys. I'll send you a link, Nick, and then I'll find a way to DM it to you. But it's fantastic. You'll get a good laugh out of it. I've never heard anyone do his voice as well as this guy. I mean, his mannerisms, his cadence, it's crazy. But nice. I want to keep, because we were talking about life. I am obsessed with the Europa Clipper mission, because I am certain they're going to fly through that geyser and they're going to find some sort of organic molecule, because it just shoots geysers up into space, like 15, 20 kilometers up into space. And they've created this thing that's just going to fly through a bunch of times. And they've literally at this point started figuring out how to get through the ice. And they've done a lot of basic research. And basically, they're going to drop these probes. It's already been selected with isotopes in them that decay, that'll create heat, with a little wire, and it'll just kind of slowly go down. We're going to get in the ocean. It's going to hit the ocean, and there'll be some giant fucking squid or some crazy shit. Because
it's going to get eaten by an ogre.
Dude, it'd be fucking nuts, dude. They're fucking Megalodon or some shit. Oh, fuck, the Megalodons went to Europa. That's why we can't find them. They built rocket ships. Who fucking...
Space calamari. Yum, yum.
It's a trap. We're gonna get the
Admiral Akbar's over there.
It's a trap. The human probes coming down. They're trying to anal probe us.
Dude, they're not even gonna have butts. Who knows what the fuck they're gonna be over? It's gonna be so wild. There's no way we can even conceive of what this life would look like. Or maybe life. Maybe it does develop, maybe there's certain successful forms. Who the fuck knows? But it's going to be so cool. But I almost feel like you're saying there's going to be riots. There's going to be fucking riots, dude. There's squid people on Europa. We're fucked. We got to invade. They're gonna come here. No, dude, they live in a fucking ocean. Relax, dude. There's
even if it's just basic minnows, or just something like a jellyfish. people are
Yeah.
going to lose their shit
Yeah.
because one of the basic concepts behind most religions is that Earth is special and we're special and it's the center of the universe and there can't be life anywhere else because we're special. And the second we figure out that there's life in our solar system, well, that means if there's life on another planet or moon in our solar system, that means there's life every fucking where in the universe.
Yeah.
And that means we're not even remotely special. And that will break the brains of a lot of people. And they won't like that.
I hope it happens, but what I really hope is more on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy side is we find life and all of a sudden the dolphins just gone and they're all on Europa and they're just giving us the big middle finger and they're just going to fuck with all of our equipment for the rest of time. Like they will just
dolphins laughing instead of
dolphins
cosmic background
laughing
radiation.
at us. Yeah, and they'll be like actually talking to us though because they're like, we're smart enough that we knew your language. We just clicked and communicated because you guys were too dumb to figure ours out. And they're just gonna say so long and thanks for all the fish as we fucking burn ourselves up trying to get to them.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me is that they're gonna be like, wow, we found life on Europa. We're gonna bring some back, to which my response would be, absolutely fucking not.
Don't fucking do that.
You don't fucking bring it back here because
we're fucked. If we bring matter what it is, organism, and never.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's
the same applies. If we send a microbe on one of those little tunneling things, some bacteria, and it gets in there, fucking dude. What's that movie, Life, where they have that little fucking thing? And he's sticking his hand, dude. That shit freaked me out because it scared the shit out of me. Because he's like got his glove in the little thing and he's probing it, and then it like grabs his hand and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And they're like pulling on him. It just breaks his. Oh, dude, fuck, dude. He's like, "There's a hole in the glove. We're fucked." Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the storyline of Prometheus and how the Aliens series basically. It was human and it was engineering. It was eugenic engineering to create humanity, basically, and we let in a plague that turned into the aliens, the xenomorphs. Don't do it. We know what happens. Don't open the thing in the pyramid that needs a special sarcophagus key that takes a sword that you have to fucking turn. Don't pull Excalibur out of the stone. Don't bring back alien life because we'll all die. Like we're gonna bring a plague back.
They put the sword there for a fucking reason. They put it there for a reason. Everyone's dead, and there's a sword holding the door closed. You see the skeletons. You see all the fucking dead people. Oh, dude, I'm gonna fucking take this sword out and I'm gonna use it. You could.
You should leave the sword alone.
Don't. Yeah, just admire it.
Don't listen to the ghosts telling you what to do. That's a delusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to study it, you go there and study it and stay there.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll send Elon Musk to Mars and Peter Thiel so that they can study.
They can go.
Or to Europa or Titan. They can study it. I'm fine staying here on Earth. But let's send them there first. They want to know about it.
In a Cybertruck.
Yeah, in a Cybertruck. No, in the little the Roadster, the hot rod one without the hood, so that he gets all the sun. He's got a sunroof for a reason. May as well use it. Don't worry, there's no air, so you won't have to breathe very hard with all your cybernetic limbs and organs and shit like that, and your transhumanism bullshit, your Neuralink, which will stop working once you get far enough away from Earth because you don't have cell phone service or a good internet, and Starlink doesn't work all the way out there because you forgot to bring your fucking satellites because you're an idiot and you were drinking kids' bloods. Did I cover all the bases on Elon Musk or did I miss Peter?
They could upload them to the computer in the Tesla. That's the workaround. So they go digital and they upload themselves to the computer in the Tesla, and then they can strap a little Starlink in the back and they can go. Like, dude, it'll be fine.
That's how you get the devil car from Futurama. Let's not go that route.
What is it? There's that movie like Rubber, where it's like a tire that like drives around and kills people. Like you upload Elon Musk and Peter Thiel to a Tesla, it's the same thing. You just have like a murder car driving around, and since it's silent, it's an electric car. Like you just don't see him coming.
Oh my
Just
God,
don't see him coming.
Cyber Musk.
Cyber Musk.
I mean, we already had Hitler with Grok, so I mean, why not? Cyber Musk coming in to mecha Hitler the world, and bring about the death of society, and steal Stephen Miller's wife, his harem of concubines, and he's going to send her out to space too. And then little penis Goebbels is going to have to follow in his little penis rocket to come eject himself to find, because he's such a stud apparently. Whatever.
Give me back my wife.
Give me back my wife.
Give me back my wife.
I'm gonna pull myself like a penis out of a
talk
fucking hood.
I can't like stand listening to him talk, right? And I hadn't listened to him talk for a minute, and I watched a video of him, and I'm like, dude, the fact that this guy is like in a position of authority, I literally have not heard a fuck, dude, shut up. It's like listening to like I don't even know. But yeah, let's put him in the what is Bezos's thing called? The Blue Horizon.
Blue Origin.
Blue Origin. Yeah, he can go up in the penis rocket that shot Katy Perry up there. I will never forget watching Katy Perry's interview. She's like, "What? You don't know love until you've been to space. Like, I've never felt so much love." I'm like, girl, what kind of mushrooms did you take before you went up there? I want some. Holy shit, you just had the best time of your life. The ketamine? It's exclusive.
It's that Elon exclusive. He gave it to Bezos to make sure that they came down talking crazy. That way Bezos would lose money and SpaceX could gain more money because they didn't have crazy celebrities go, why don't you respect us for going to space? And I'm not making fun of the women. I'm just making fun of all of them. I'm doing this voice because I want to fuck them. Fuck, like, no, I don't respect you. Fascism's
for
here.
Going to space.
I don't care about your penis rocket. Fascism's here.
No, I don't give a shit. What, you went to space? Fucking female astronauts went to space. I don't give a flying fuck that you went to space. You're not that cool. You just paid like $10 million to drop acid and go to space and then come back down and then flex that you now know what fucking love is and no one else does because they haven't dropped acid in space. Like, fuck you, Katy Perry. You know,
wow,
how about you call out the fascist?
Wow.
It's like the lifted trucks of people. Like it's the little dick club for people is going to space right now. And
absolutely,
because nobody fucking cares about you going to space. Fix the damn planet. Like, I want, like last week we were talking about the amazing pictures of from the James Webb Telescope.
Yes,
a comparison on those compared to the
Let's
Hubble
show
ones.
one before we leave today because we got like 5 minutes. Let's.
I already closed that down. Too much effort.
Okay.
Too much effort, Shane. You're trying to make me do work.
I'm sorry. I can't be doing that.
And
next week.
That shit is so cool. I don't want to send cybernetic humans into space unless it's Elon Musk, or Peter Thiel and JD Vance, and they can have a weird circle jerk of their own in space and do whatever they want, because I don't know who they are or what they are, but they're weird as fuck, all three of them. And Curtis Yarvin. Curtis can join that crew too. Like, go eject yourself into space. Use that Bezos rocket. Actually, Bezos can go too. He's no good to us anymore. He's wasted. And I mean, what happens when, like, does the trust money get dispersed to all the rest of us? Like, can we get like reparations for them wasting our taxpayer dollars?
There will be billionaire reparations. 100%. When we take back our government and send them to space, there is going to be billionaire reparations.
Yeah, after we kick down the doors to their fucking doomsday bunkers.
Do you know, it's funny. Nazis in space? So like, it's going to be like Wolfenstein,
Oh
with
yeah,
Nazis in
yeah.
space, and we're gonna have to be fucking. But maybe we do a space prison for the Nazis, for the techno-fascist Nazis. Just let them be the test subjects. They want to do human test subjects for for the Neuralink shit. It's some scary what they might be doing with folks and Neuralink and human test subjects with people who are missing and immigrants and being taken by ICE. There's some interesting discussion. I don't know if I believe all of it, but I do know that these people would do those things because they would justify it in their extreme altruism and
it's what's best for the long term of humanity.
Yeah.
The best
these
thing
people are
do
not
is,
the best. Yeah, they can go to space by themselves.
that's it. And we will I promise you guys, I know, and I promise all of you, if you go to space, we will dedicate an entire Palantalk section afterwards. Fuck, we'll give you a whole episode about your journeys in space. I will make a weekly episode documenting your exploits if you go to space. Like, guys, just go. Dream
go.
big. Dream fucking big. Go to space. That's
Billionaires,
what you want.
fuck
Do
off.
it.
Go to space.
I would pay money
space.
to watch them suffocate in real time.
What I really want to do actually is I want to get them to be the ones to test the inflatable habitats that go up and poke holes in them, actually have them be like, hey, we have to test the durability. You guys need to go and poke a couple holes in one or two and see what happens. Or small meteor showers, micro meteors happen all the time. Like, we got to test survivability and stability. How quickly can you get your spacesuit on? Can you get that new spacesuit that you keep talking about? That's made out of whatever Lulu fake frofro fabric that is stitched together in a slave factory in China and shipped to America to be stamped with a label that says "Made in America" in a slave factory in America. You guys go ahead, go to space.
It's let's see. You paid all that money
for
it.
You can take Katy Perry. She wants to go. I'm sure she's down. You can take her. She'll find love
take
again.
Steven's wife.
She'll never. Yeah, take Steven's wife. Take Katy Perry. Take Bezos's wife. They have experience. No. I'm sure.
Well, which wife? His current or his ex? Because his ex is okay.
Well, the one that went to space. So I believe it's his current wife, because it was Bezos's wife, Katy Perry, and some other person who I don't remember. But I think that other person was a decent human being, other than the fact that they took a $10 million seat to go to space instead of using their platform to advocate for democracy. But other than that, But just take, you know what? Take anyone from Hollywood, because none of them have spoken out and they're still rich. So as far as I'm concerned, unless you're like Robert De Niro and I've literally seen your ass out there ripping into people, you can just take them. Just take them. It's cool. That's what space is for. Right, that's what space is for. There's plenty of space.
There's a lot of space. They can fit them all. They can fit them all up there.
Yeah, absolutely. All the billionaires can fit. All right, Ogre, we're heading towards right at the half-hour mark, and I want to give you the last couple moments here to tell everyone where they can find you. I put your QR code up on the screen, so anyone who sees it in the recording, please go subscribe to Ogre. But where can people find you, and how can they support your work?
I am all over Substack, so you can find me there at The Opinionated Ogre. I would love a subscription. Doesn't have to be a paid one. I'd like lots of free followers. That's awesome, so people can read my stuff. I don't have a paywall. I never have a paywall. All of my stuff is free. I do have a podcast. We record on Wednesdays live, and then we put it out for free on Thursdays. That would be me and Florida Woman Rants. I also am on Blue Sky, again, Opinionated Ogre, and I'm on TikTok, although I don't post on there very often. But again, Opinionated Ogre. So please definitely follow me on Substack. Like I said, always free, always will be, and that's how that goes.
Well, Shane, appreciate your time today. Appreciate the Palantalk Ogre. Thank you for the opinions and the knowledge in all of this.
Yeah.
And informing the people about what's going on. A lot of
And
folks have joined us today, and appreciate every single one of you for being here. Shane, last words before we head out.
Yes, I got one thing to add. So first of all, I am going full time here on Substack. So one of the things that I'm doing to do is I'm offering a show Monday through Friday called the Firebrand Report, where we go over 3 topics from the day. I'll break them down, and we will go over those together. So that will be at 12:30 PST, 3:30 EST, and that would be at 2:30 Central Standard Time. So come out there and join me. All of you at Ogre, I would love to see you guys there. You welcome. Come join the Firebrand Project. Go follow Banner and Backbone from where our core network here, where me and Nick are both contributors. Nick is a founder. So go join us there, Banner and Backbone as well. Come join me at the Firebrand Project. Nick gets sick of this shit. And we're here every single week. Ogre, we would love to have you back. This has been a ton of fun. And I will see you hopefully in a couple hours, but definitely next week for Palantalk.
Sounds great, y'all. And I'll see everyone in a couple hours when I come online for a guest appearance on Zev Shalev's show, Narrative, with Professor Goggin, Terrence Goggin, the prior West Point history professor, to discuss the upcoming Hegseth fascism is good warrior ethos talk being preempted by Trump, and what we think it might mean, what Professor Goggin believes based on historical trends and his insider insights from the military and from West Point. So please come join at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight as I join Zev Shalev. So thanks again, everyone, for being here. Ogre, it was incredible to have you. Look forward to talking to you again later in the week, too. And Shane, I'll talk to you again soon, brother. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Have a great
Goodbye,
day.
everybody. Take care.
Bye.